Today on Judge Faith, this tenant thought it was bad enough getting evicted.
You know, I went and fought the eviction, so I'm at the eviction case, and, you know, I lost. I go home, I look inside, and everything I own is stolen.
But the defendant says he caused his own problems.
Policemen came over, they came into the house, they came into the kitchen, they looked in Mr. Rhodes' room, and they saw someone in his room doing drugs.
When you have someone in a home selling heroin, they're going to be paranoid.
And later, a friendship destroyed over a rental car mishap.
So you were driving the rental car,
Yes.
and you hit your car, which your daughter was driving from behind.
Yes.
Okay, and that's what caused the damage?
Yeah. I gave her the $280. I think the balance left was like $200. I was like, put that towards what I owe on the car. She never did that.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Josh Rhodes is suing the manager of his former rental room for $14,900, the cost of stolen belongings and rent he says he is owed. Defendant John Scourge says he was forced to evict the former tenant and denies stealing his property.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this is Rhodes versus Scourge.
Thank you, Barbara. Joshua Rhodes.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, John Scourge, for $14,900.
Correct.
$9,900 for 18 months of rent you say you paid to him to rent an illegal apartment.
Correct.
And $5,000 for musical instruments you say he stole from you.
Correct.
Tell me what this case is about.
Well, I was referred to the place where I was living by a friend, and it was a garage.
Wait, you were living in a garage?
Right. It was a garage at first, and I kind of turned it into a room. I figured I'd move in there, and then once the room became available, which we had talked about, I would move into the room.
You own a home with a garage, and you rent out various rooms. Can you just explain to me how that works?
I rent a room in the house myself, so I do not own the property.
Okay.
The garage was being rented out. He agreed to move in and moved into the garage.
But he made an agreement with you, so are you managing this home? How does it work?
I'm kind of collecting the rent and then paying the landlord.
Okay, so how many rooms are rented to various people?
5 rooms.
Okay, and how much did you agree to pay in rent?
It was $550.
And was there running water in the garage?
No running water. The initial rent was $500 a month is what he agreed to pay for, and he had complete access to the whole house, to the kitchen, to all the bathrooms, to all the facilities in the house.
So there's no bathroom or kitchen or running water or anything like that?
No,
Correct.
there was only one electrical outlet. You know, there was rodents at times. It was, you know, freezing cold. I have a 9-year-old daughter.
You don't have heat, right?
No,
in the garage?
there was no heat. There was no heat. There was nothing in the garage. It was absolutely unbearable at times.
So how long did you live there?
I think it was over 18 months. It was a little over 18 months.
Your Honor, if I can add something. As far as his living condition goes, he built a wall inside the garage, which he didn't ask to do. He just went ahead and did that. And right outside the door of the garage into the house, there's a bathroom. So he had his own private bathroom right there.
He has a private bathroom, but he has to go inside of the house to use it.
He opens the
It
door.
wasn't a private bathroom. It was a community bathroom. Everybody used the bathroom when they pleased.
But you had access to the bathroom.
I did
you
have
have a key
access.
or
Actually,
something
at
like
one
that?
point, my 9-year-old daughter had to go to the bathroom outside because it was late one night. We couldn't get inside. I don't know why the doors were locked. Something was blocking the door. I think it was the washer or dryer from her to get inside to use that bathroom.
Wait, was your 9-year-old living with you? You were trying to...
She visited from time to time, you know, as much as she possibly could. You know, she lives with her mom, so it was after that she wasn't able to visit, you know, because she went and told her mom.
Well,
Mom
you know
was
what?
upset
If I
about
were
it.
her mom, I wouldn't want my 9-year-old having to use the bathroom outside. Let's get to why we're here today.
He said I had a problem with a roommate in the house, and that's why I ended up moving out, or I had to move out. Well, the problem was I came to know that the person was doing illegal activity inside the house.
What kind of illegal activity?
Selling drugs.
Okay, how did you learn that?
Basically, seeing the people come and go, you know, and whatnot.
Did you know, sir?
I was aware of it, that was the implication that was going on, and I had spoken to him before about not doing that, you know, he was renting a room there, he had his room, he paid his rent, but that I didn't approve of that and that he had to stop doing that.
What kind of drugs was he selling?
I think heroin.
So what did you do? You called the police.
Well, no, actually, the person called the police, and the police came and they arrested him. They found, you know, I guess $50,000 and, I don't know, a bunch of heroin, a gun, and they arrested him, and he left. And then Mr. Scourge had somebody else move in, I swear, not even an hour later.
And you're upset because you thought that during this 18 months you were living in the garage, that at some point you were going to be upgraded to a room in the house.
Yes, you know.
And that didn't happen.
Exactly what happened. And we had a conversation, and I told him I wanted to move to the room downstairs. He said to me that I made the garage kind of my own room, because I did fix it up. I painted it. I made it as nice as I possibly could. I put the wall up, you know, for my daughter, for me, you know, make it the best possible. And yeah, we had that conversation, and he said, oh, you made the garage your own. You should just stay in here. It's going to be too hard to rent out a garage opposed from a room.
If I could say something, I never promised him a room.
You never promised him a room in the house?
Correct. He was happy living where he lived. He had a lot of items in the garage, tools. He collected things. He had a big room there. He had his TV, his musical instruments. He was happy.
Did we not have that conversation?
He was happy
about me moving out.
He was happy being in that room. He lived there for 18 months.
What happened? How did he end up? You say in your answer that he was evicted.
Right.
Tell me about that.
The incident he's referring to is when he got into a confrontation with this roommate.
With the drug dealer?
Correct.
Okay.
I don't want to say drug dealer. It's saying he's a drug user, okay? It doesn't...
Well, he's selling heroin. I mean, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but he's dealing drugs from inside of the home.
Correct.
And heroin.
That's right.
When you have someone in a home selling heroin, they're going to be paranoid that someone's going to break in, because people know when you're selling drugs, there's money, and you have addicts coming there to buy drugs. I don't see how you could sleep at night in the home personally.
I heard a crash. I got up, I went outside. The police officers had been called to the house because of a burglary. So my roommate, that other roommate,
what was the burglary?
He had been robbed recently prior to this, and he thought
Yet
somebody
another
was robbing
reason why
him,
you don't want
because
to
I
have a
went
drug
pounding on
dealer
his
in the
door
home.
because I saw somebody coming and going. So I went pounding on his door, you know, because I was sick of it.
So the police came, and what happened?
The policemen came over, they came into the house, they came into the kitchen, they looked in Mr. Rhodes' room, and they saw someone in his room doing drugs. They detained everybody that was in the house, the other roommates, myself included, while they did an investigation.
So you're saying that the reason why the police detained everyone was because someone in the garage was doing some kind of drugs and they saw that?
Correct.
Okay, I don't believe that.
Okay, you don't believe that?
No, I don't. I was a prosecutor in Manhattan, and I had many drug cases. And when the police come and there's evidence that someone is dealing, selling, buying drugs in the home, they're going to search the entire perimeter.
And the reason they did that was because they saw a person in his room with drugs.
You weren't arrested, am I right? Am I correct?
Correct. No. I was not arrested. I was not.
No.
Exactly.
So the only person who was arrested that day was the person dealing heroin out of the home, correct? Okay.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the plaintiff sings the eviction blues.
Why do you say you had to evict him?
It was illegal for him to be staying there.
Did you have another place to live?
No, I had nowhere to go. And he knew that. I had nowhere to go, and he didn't care one bit, you know, if I was on the street or whatnot. Just get out.
And later, the wrecked car is nothing compared to the wrecked trust between former friends.
You can see lie written all over her face. That's the enemy. She is a liar. She is a liar.
Wow.
That's the enemy. They come to kill, steal, and destroy.
Not a liar.
You let him destroy not only a great friendship, but he destroyed you as being a potential great disciple for Christ.
Plaintiff Josh Rhodes says he was forced to call the police on his drug-dealing housemate, which led to him being forced out of the home. Now he is suing the rental manager for damages. Defendant John Scourge says all the problems at the home were caused by the plaintiff.
What did the police tell you about the garage when they saw the room?
They asked, is this legal? And I said, I don't know. So they reported that to the city. Then the city filed a complaint for having somebody living in the garage.
So you didn't get a room in the house.
Right.
And what happened? Where'd you go? What ended up happening?
Well, I was being evicted, so I went to fight my eviction because, you know, I didn't think it was right that he was
Did you have
evicting me.
another place to live?
No, I had nowhere to go. And he knew that. I had nowhere to go, and he didn't care one bit, you know, if I was on the street or whatnot. Just get out.
So where'd you go?
ended up back at my mom's. And, you know, I went and fought the eviction, so I'm at the eviction case, and, you know, I lost. I go home, my door has been removed, and I look inside, and everything I own is stolen. My $600 amp, my $1,000 amp, my guitars, my mixer,
was this while
my
you were going to court?
$2,000 60-inch TV.
Where were you?
This is while I was at the eviction case.
Okay.
And
do you know anything about that?
Absolutely nothing.
Your Honor, I asked all the roommates if anybody saw anything being removed out of my room. None of them said they saw anything.
But you're suing him for $5,000
Because I have a feeling that he just let it happen, because it makes sense to me that, you know, he thinks that I owe money for back rent or something, or I screwed him over.
Why do you think he owes money for back rent?
Well, he stopped paying rent.
He doesn't have to pay rent to live in an illegal. You cannot collect rent on an illegal apartment.
He was still staying at the house there.
You're suing for 18 months of rent. You say you paid illegally to the defendant, and $5,000 of musical instruments stolen. So here's the thing about the instruments. You said yourself you're not sure what happened or who took them. And frankly, the fact that you had someone in the house dealing heroin, and you had people in and out of that house all the time, drug addicts, probably drug dealers too, there's no telling who took your stuff. You're also suing for $9,900 in rent. You say you paid illegally, and that's for the rent you paid to him the entire time that you lived there. When you discover that the apartment is illegal, you don't get back rent for all the money that you've paid. Courts won't award you for back rent. The right thing for you to sue for is for all of the expenses that you had to incur to have to move from that illegal room to another place of your own. So I'm going to order the defendant to pay you a reasonable amount for moving expenses, and also a reasonable amount for you to find another apartment and another place to live. So my verdict in this case is for the plaintiff. I'm ordering you to pay him $2,000.
Plaintiff Renee Wright says her former friend begged her to rent a car so she could see her sick mother, and then wrecked it. She is suing for $4,015 in damages. Defendant Carrie Armstrong says the plaintiff refused to purchase insurance for the car rental. She is countersuing for $203 for money owed on the rental.
Renee Wright?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Carrie Armstrong, for $4,500, damages to an unpaid car rental and also pain and suffering?
Yes.
And you are countersuing Ms. Armstrong for $203 for a balance owed to you based on a car rental?
Yes.
Okay, how did the two of you know each other?
I met Carrie Ann like a year and a half ago. I do street ministry and with youth. And so I met her at a barbecue, and when she found out what God had me doing, she wanted to partake in doing the marches along with us.
When you say street ministry, are you trying to reach youth who are out on the street?
Yeah, we are. We're trying to not only reach youth, but drug addicts, gangbangers, dope fiends, whoever it is that's in the street that's lost.
What happened? How did we get here?
What happened is, I was on my way to work. She called me on the phone, and she had a car that was a bucket that wouldn't go. And she called me, and she says to me, Renee, my car is overheating. She said, my mom is sick. I said, don't worry about it. What is it that I can do? You want to use my truck? She says, well, I want to know if you would rent me a car.
Is what she just described accurate in terms of the conversation? You asked her to rent a car for you?
Yes, it
so
is.
you can go see your mom? How far were you traveling?
Like 40 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, so at first I said no, but then I cared about her so much, and I was so grateful that she was my friend. Her mom's sick. Let me look out for her. She doesn't. Excuse me, I'm still talking. See, rudeness. She's rude. She let her daughter drive the car.
That's not true.
Sitting here.
You rented a car on what day?
Yeah, she tried to tow her car with the rent-a-car.
Ma'am,
you can see lie written all over her face. That's the enemy. She is a liar. She's a liar.
Wow.
That's the enemy. They come to kill, steal, and destroy.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
I am not a liar.
And you let him destroy not only a great friendship, but he destroyed you as being a potential great disciple for
Ms.
Christ.
Rice, what date did you go and rent the car for the defendant?
November 16th, 2013.
How much did you pay for the car rental?
Oh, let me tell you about that story.
Can you just tell me how much it was? Can you just tell me how much you paid?
She didn't even have a bank card or enough money to get the rent-a-car. She had to use my bank card. This woman took the rent-a-car with her daughter, cracked it, and it's $2,000 worth of damage to where she was a second driver. And then guess what? Now I can't even rent.
Ma'am, hold on a second.
Now I can't even rent from her to rent a car because of the situation.
Coming up, it takes coming to court to hear those very important words.
Why don't you take the opportunity now to apologize for what happened?
Plaintiff Renee Wright says her former friend wrecked a rental car and won't pay. She's suing for damages. Defendant Carrie Armstrong says the plaintiff refused to purchase insurance for the car rental.
How much were the damages to the rental car?
$2,125.
Okay, what happened? How did you have the accident?
Okay, what happened? My daughter was driving my car. It's an older model car.
Miss Wright?
I'm sorry.
I hit her from the back.
So
with the
you
rental car.
were driving the rental car,
yes,
and you hit your car, which your daughter was driving from behind.
Yes.
Okay, and that's what caused the damage?
Yes.
Okay, so why do you feel that you were not responsible for that?
When we went to the car company, when we were there, I said, since I'm paying for everything, you should get insurance. Since I'm driving the car.
So did she get car rental insurance?
Oh my God, if
And
that
then,
was so true, you were a second driver. Why you didn't get it yourself?
I want you to calm down. I want to hear what she has to say. Did she get the insurance or not?
No, she didn't want me to pay for it, and it was in her hands.
Okay, so you're saying you're not responsible because she should have had car rental insurance to cover the car.
Exactly.
She decided to do something nice for you because your mother was sick and you needed a car to drive 40 miles away to see your mother. She didn't have to do what she did.
I was hurt to this day, and I kept texting her, calling her, crying out to her, reaching out to her because I felt not only one bad about her mom, she was on my, she's my friend.
She's being nice right now, but
no,
it wasn't
you were
like
my
that.
friend on Facebook, and not only that,
she's being nice.
And you know, if you're friends on Facebook, you're really
but
friends.
wait a minute,
Yeah,
we do ministry, and
now.
no, I'm not being nice right now. I'm just trying to stand.
I want to say something to both of you. Let me say something to both of you because both of you are involved in, you say street ministry.
Yes.
You said in your answer that you mentor young people who are involved in gangs and guns and drugs. So frankly, I mean, what do you tell those young people when they make a mistake? You didn't have a car accident on purpose, you made a mistake. What do you tell those young people when they make a mistake about taking responsibility for their actions as their mentor?
I guess now I'll tell them to own up to the things they do, own up to it.
That's right. What's your counterclaim about?
When I gave her the $280, after at the rent-a-car company, I think the balance left was like $200. So I was like, put that towards what I owe on the car. She never did that.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Why don't you take the opportunity now to apologize for what happened?
I'm sorry that I wrecked the car, and I thank you for renting a car for my mom.
And I accept it.
So that's the right thing to do. It's easy. That was the right thing to do. My judgment in this case is for the plaintiff.
I don't want you to cry, Carrie Ann. I don't want you to cry because I do love you. But, you know, you kept avoiding me. You were going to make payment arrangements, and you never did.
This is the bashing I get, like, even though after this.
Wow.
After I said I'm sorry.
And I said I appreciate it. And I just told you I love you.
Yeah, but
really
it's
wrong.
a lot of bashing.
Miss Wright,
Miss
You
Wright.
like to bash people too much.
She apologized.
I did.
You accepted
So
her
I did.
apology.
Exactly.
And you know
So
what?
you have
After
to keep
today,
talking.
you
my
ladies are
gosh.
both in Los Angeles. After today, let it go. Leave it alone, okay? This case is over. We're done. You apologize. You're going to pay her the $2,015.22 for damages to the car. Your counterclaim is dismissed. She doesn't have to pay you back for the car rental for obvious reasons. Just before the plaintiff. Good luck, ladies.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.